From north to south and east to west, the world is growing with life. Light touches from one edge of the world to the other, capturing the heart of nature that lies across a vast valley shimmering with beauty. Bringing races of all kinds from many locations in order to pave a story, to build a community, and to adventure even the darkest depths of the Underrealm together. Welcome. I'm here to speak with the growing community of new and old that may be just starting or very captured by this new title. Intrepid Studios is a fairly new company made up of a small group of developers with over 40 years of experience from many different game genres, all of which grew up playing MMORPGs and developing them at some point in their career. The game started back in 2016. The following year, Intrepid Studios started a Kickstarter in 2017. It sprung up from a crowdfunding campaign launched with a $750,000 funding goal on May 2nd, 2017, and concluded on June 3rd, 2017 with 19,576 backers. Intrepid Studios raised $3,271,809, breaking records as the biggest MMORPG through the Kickstarter program. Going forward, I would like to take each and every one of you on a brand new journey, one that may come with its bumps and curves as we explore the expanding world that Intrepid Studios has created for each and every one of us. Hello, I am your host, Frosty Coffee 1HD. This is my brand new series on the upcoming MMORPG. So, please join me as we reach out of the Divine Gateway into the world of Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation is built upon 5 main goals, or pillars of design for production. In this series, we won't only go over those main pillars, but we will also explore many different avenues. Up-to-date news, story, lore, guides, PvE, PvP, a full-on playthrough of the game, and more. Ashes of Creation is a non-faction-based MMORPG set in a high fantasy open world. The game is a high-action combat with extensive class system for all to enjoy. Originally, Ashes only had 4 main pillars, known as economy, nodes, meaningful conflict, and narrative. Now, production of Ashes of Creation revolves around 5 main pillars, consisting of engaging and immersive story, a reactive world, player interaction and community, player agency, and finally, risk versus reward. Throughout the game, what you do as a player will tie to each and every part of these pillars, like a roadmap branching off similar to a tree, only to find another place for that road to reconnect along the way. By doing this, everything you experience, do as a player, a guild, and server will keep the world new, refreshing, constantly changing, and most importantly, exciting experiences for all to enjoy. Today I want to start with one of the most important parts of the pillars. This next section will describe a core piece of the game and how it will branch off to all of the other pillars going forward: player interaction and community. Throughout many MMORPGs, this is what brings players together to create a fun environment for players to cohesively work together. Unfortunately, many MMORPGs fall short of what it means to bring players together to create that solid environment. Titles are established with healthy populations for the most part to start, attempt to keep things interesting by releasing additional content such as expansions and more. Intrepid Studios is creating a world that combines the best parts from the genre, from old MMORPGs to new, and building new systems that may have never before been seen in the genre. So the question lies, what makes the game different from the rest? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's dive into those key points in this series and discover them together. A lot of MMOs in the genre don't explore new avenues and stick to classic systems and never bring anything new to the table. A lot of players don't keep an open mind about the new development and are quick to dismiss by comparing it with other games. It's an unfortunate stigma that even I myself am used to doing whenever a new game is released. That is why, going forward, I ask that you keep an open mind. Also, understand that this game, as of this posted video, is in pre-alpha and is subject to change regardless of what pillar of development I am speaking about in this series. First, let's dive into the node system. The node system is like the heart of the game and is a pivotal point which will govern, build, or destroy economies going forward. Some MMOs have bad designs, such as pay-to-win models or give in to the casual player community, unsatisfying storylines after the first opening cutscene, no challenges from dungeons, raids, and questlines, poor or just slow combat, no risks, PvP being a low end on the totem pole and never thought of as a core piece of the gameplay, and finally, aesthetically pleasing visuals such as the world, cosmetics, UI interface, and the list could just go on and on. Even though there are a lot of negatives from other MMORPGs, some actually are successful and do things correctly. No company is perfect, and you can't satisfy all of the community and players, but so far, there are a lot of things that Ashes of Creation is doing right, and I hope that with everything I have shown so far in this video and going forward in this series, it will pique your interest. Not only that, show you that Ashes of Creation isn't just another MMORPG. From the moment you step outside of the Divine Gate, you will adventure into the world of Vera. Upon adventuring, you will soon come across a preset location that the dev team also calls a ZOI, Zone of Influence. These ZOIs, or nodes, already exist within the world, set up in regions throughout the world, and it is up to the player to populate them. The nodes have a hierarchy that go from camps to villages to city, and finally becomes a metropolis. Whether it be crafting, gathering, or fighting enemies within the world, anything that gives you experience as a player contributes to the functioning node and how it will operate effectively. As that node grows, so does that region. Once a node reaches enough experience, it will level up, jumping to the next level of hierarchy. But at the same time, unlocking NPCs in that node for further content. However, so does the lingering chaos and destruction that it brings by building upon that node too. Enemies and dark monsters can appear, such as a raging water serpent, earth monster, or a massive dragon from an erupting volcano that can cause death and destruction to that node in place. Each and every zone of influence has its own event, set for different things to happen at different times throughout the day. Each server will have its own story to tell, an experience to cherish and hold on to from the moment they set foot in Vera. It's exciting to see these core concepts being placed into an MMORPG game, and what it will mean for the community going forward. Not only that, it shows that Intrepid Studios has made something unique, and it separates them from most other games. We will see Guild Wars, PvP, story, creation, destruction, and rebirth from these locations located throughout the world of Vera, delivering us a game like none other to make choices, a strong community, story, and power. Unlike most MMOs, they don't want to touch complicated concepts like these, and I applaud Intrepid for taking these ideas, concepts into mind and bringing them to life. Currently, Intrepid Studios has shared with the community pre-alpha footage from PI testing, and depending on what you're watching in this video, it could be much further along. Loads of fans anticipating an exciting game that could possibly rival some of the top MMORPGs alive today. Personally, for me, I have high expectations, but also a strong belief that Intrepid Studios is not playing around and constantly hard at work putting in those late hours daily behind the scenes and creating the game we have all been waiting for. Stage 3 is the village stage, where you will start to gain access to a lot of additional tools and resources to start building upon your economy. During Stage 3, you will gain access to housing and citizenship, giving you the right to vote for your mayor, amongst many other features. Housing, for example, can be gained through 3 different forms, such as static in-node housing, which can be upgraded upon leveling up through the different stages. Housing can also be sold to other players. A player can also purchase apartments. The last piece of housing is freeholds. Freeholds can be built within any node's zone of influence. You will see inns, taverns, forges, smelters, lumberyards, mills, stables, and more found on the plot of land for freeholds. Now, let's talk about the final stages of a node, the metropolis. Since this is the final process of the node system, it requires a lot of resources and gathering in order to build this area on such a grand scale. Due to how massive one metropolis can be, only 5 active nodes are allowed at a time within a region. As you grow your zone of influence, so does everything within that zone. Your housing, freeholds, NPCs, the players, the community. Nodes are broken up into 4 different types: scientific, economic, militaristic, and divine. Each of these give different building benefits along your journey as a community and a player. It is up to each and every one of us to decide how that node will progress and what outcome it will have. From choosing your government leaders, elections, trade routes, protecting your goods from other enemy nodes with the caravan system, to full-on wars against each other. However, the higher level of the node, the more protection, the more built-up defenses, the harder it will be for a siege that could take place against each other. One last thing to keep in mind, underrealm nodes directly above them are related but do not affect each other's zone of influence. Going forward, I probably could talk about many more core things about the node system and more, to go more in depth about the system and core mechanics of the game. However, let's save that for next time and not make this a really long video. I wanted to keep this simple and clean for all to enjoy. Throughout my time being inside, chatting throughout the Discord and with the community, it has been nothing but a positive experience. Community members and content creators are actively willing to help out players from around the globe with any questions you may have about the game. Players will even have fun and decent discussions throughout the week, whether it be about the game or something completely unrelated. Intrepid Studios brings a fun and exciting vibe every time a new livestream begins for a developer update. Even throughout their social media and in Discord, they will actively chat with you and be goofy while still keeping a level of professionalism. All I can say is thank you to Stephen Sharif, Margaret Cron, Sarah Flanagan, Jeffrey Bard, Chris Atkins, Kevin McPherson, and many more of the staff for being the heart and soul of Ashes of Creation. If I butchered anyone's name, then I am terribly sorry. You can all have my pizza and cookies. I also have coffee for everyone. Nodes will rise and fall. Intrepid Studios isn't just creating any old game. They are creating a game where you need to think, strategize, and plan around every part of your journey. So the question I have for you today is, what will you do? Will you build a great world of peace and prosperity, or will you watch things burn to the ground, leaving the world in fire and ash? As a community, as a guild, a family, each and every one of us can participate to make that happen. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you for Ashes of Creation. That's all my time for today. If you didn't already, please consider supporting my channel by letting me cast a spell on you. Just smash that subscribe button and ring the bell icon on the way out of the innkeeper's desk to know when my next video goes live. You can also see me throughout the week on Frosty Friday for my Twitch live stream. Also, if you want to know what I'm up to throughout the week, you can follow me through Twitter, where I will update each and every one of you. If you're looking for a community or want to chat more about Ashes of Creation with me and others, I have got you covered in the Crystal Network Discord. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. And of course, stay frosty, everyone.